Welcome to the Diva Details. Welcome to the Diva Details, where bold, confident women embrace life unapologetically. From love and sex to wellness and reinvention, we keep it raw, real, and powerful. No filters, no limits. Just fearless conversations to help you thrive. Let's dive in with Diva Mia and Diva Cat.
Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Diva Details. We're going to go deep today and get real. I'm going to talk a little bit more about rising higher. This is Diva Mia, and today I want to talk to you about something that has radically changed my life, and it might change yours too. Now, I know sometimes life feels like it's throwing bricks instead of blessings. You get hit with a breakup, a business failure, a health scare, or just, quiet moments of doubt that feel louder than anything else. But the truth is, every challenge carries a gift. Every challenge can be a lesson. Every setback has a message in it. And every closed door might just be redirecting you to your future destiny. I think sometimes we get down when we think that the doors are closed or we can't achieve something because we didn't get the opportunity we wanted. But that just may be a great opportunity for a lesson to learn. Think about a time in your life when things didn't go your way. Maybe you lost someone, maybe a deal collapsed, maybe you tried to take weight off and it just stayed. What if instead of spiraling and asking, why me, change that to say, what is this trying to teach me? Every rejection is a redirection, and every breakdown can lead to your biggest breakthrough, but you have to receive it. You have to be receptive to the gifts that God's giving you. Doesn't always come in gold wrapping. Sometimes the best thing in life is a challenge that you need to overcome. And sometimes it looks confusing. It could be chaotic. There could even be a loss involved. But you know what? There's a growth there, and you just have to seize that opportunity. Growth never feels like growth while it's happening, I must say. It feels painful. It can cause resistance in your mind. You may have a block that doesn't want you to move into a change area or into a growth area. You can have fear and loneliness, but that's where your soul expands. That's where you truly grow. I don't think life gives us challenges to break us. I think it gives us challenges to grow us. So think about it that way. It's growth. It's not breakage. It throws them your way so you can build your capacity. But the question is, do you have the capabilities of? And I think everyone on the planet does. We just have to choose to grow and choose to change. There's wisdom, love, faith, strength, discernment. All of those things help you along your way. I think it's kind of like weightlifting, but for the spirit. Just like when you go to the gym, without pressure, you don't make any gains. If you're just flapping your arms in the air, you're not really making any gains. You have to push through the pain in order to grow. And then sometimes we have to ask ourselves, what in our life am I avoiding doing that I know I need to do? That in my heart and in my soul, I know I need to do in order to evolve. Because that typically is exactly what you need to do to take it to the next level, to raise your standards, to grow and find those lessons and those gifts that God's giving you. The first thing I think is we need to make sure our environment is friendly to receive. And we don't only need to just declutter our mind and clear our mind and maybe meditate a little bit and clear the space. We also need to declutter our houses. I think a lot of times we are held back by the mess in our house. I think our environment slows us down. And if we can declutter our house, we can declutter our mind, I think our spirit will just soar. And then surround yourself with good people. Don't surround yourself with people that are going to hold you back. And whenever you have something good happen, they turn it around and make it all about them. Surround yourself with people that want you to expand, that inspire you, that challenge you. You're here to grow as a person and be exactly who you want to be. But you can't be that way when other people are holding you down. It is much harder to fight, to get up when people are holding you down. If you can be on your own, it's actually easier than being around negative people. And say no to anything that doesn't align with you. A lot of times, especially us as women, we say yes to help everyone. We say yes to do everything for everyone. And if it doesn't align with our purpose and align with what we want to do, we should not be doing it. And sometimes we say yes to people just because they're friends or family and we think we are obligated to. But if it doesn't align to your purpose, you should not be doing it. I think one of the biggest things is being grateful for what you have, because the more grateful for what you have, the more you invite in new gifts and new blessings into your life. I'm grateful for the challenges I've had. I am so grateful for all the lessons I've learned because it's taken me into a whole new growth and a whole new level up. And it can for you too. But you got to watch for the signs. I don't know if you believe in God or if you believe in the universe or source. Whatever you believe in, there's always signs. You just got to pay attention. And you got to raise your standards. Raising your standards is so important. If you really want to receive, you got to raise your standards more in life. You got to raise your standards in love, in your relationships, even with friends. You got to raise your standards with your finances, with your happiness, with your peace even. Raise your standards on your cleanliness. Raise your standards on your house. Raise your standards on everything surrounding you. Even raise your standards on your kids. Hold them to a higher standard and you'll be amazed at how quickly they grow into that standard. They will fill those shoes so fast just because they are guided and directed by you. Low standards are going to attract low vibrations. You're going to attract low vibration people. You're going to attract low vibration amounts of money, relationships. You don't want that. So raise your standards, raise your vibration, and then the right people will come to you. When you elevate your energy, your values and your habits, they just improve. You start attracting what I call miracles, things in your life that you're like, how the heck did that happen? And you manifest it. When you clean up your space, you notice that things happen right at the right time for you. It may be that you've been looking for a partner for a while and things haven't really clicked. Then all of a sudden, everything just aligns. Or maybe you're looking for a promotion and you clean up your space, you clean up your headspace, you get clear, you get peaceful, you start to experience joy, and all of a sudden you get a promotion. It's always there. It's always been there. The crazy thing is you just never received it. You weren't open to it. The faster you can get open to receiving things, the more likely you're going to have better things come into your life. You are so worthy of love. You're worthy of abundance. I think sometimes we think that we're not worth the extra job or the extra money or the flow to come to us, but we are. You're worthy of joy, beauty, peace. You're worthy of it all, but you have to be open to receive it. You've got to open your eyes to the possibilities. Open your heart. Stop going through the motions. Stop living like a zombie. Trust the process. Life is not punishing you. Life is preparing you for the next step. But you got to raise your standards. You got to elevate your soul. I think that as we grow, we learn that life's gifts are there for a purpose. Life's lessons are there for a purpose. We just need to learn what it's for. Sometimes we break up and we have to rediscover ourselves. Sometimes we lose a job, which means we need a new alignment. And sometimes we get ill, which means we need to learn a new way of healing. I know I've had some health issues and I've learned some really amazing ways to heal, which I honestly don't want to change a thing because I think this is going to propel me into a life of health for the rest of my life. And I believe it's going to allow me to live a lot longer. So what could have been a setback or a letdown changed my whole trajectory in life. It changed who I am. And I am growing in a way that I never thought possible. I think sometimes we think our challenges, they're there to knock us down. But honestly, I feel like it's just weightlifting or resistance training. A challenge is just a resistance training for the soul or for the spirit and to help us grow emotionally. I don't think that growth ever feels really good. It's kind of like you go to the gym and sometimes you push it and you're pushing through a set and it's really painful. But when it's over, you're like, oh, that was awesome. It's the same thing with growth. You got to push through. And a lot of people, I think, as soon as things get tough, they think, oh, maybe I'm going in the wrong direction. But really ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? If you know in your heart and in your soul and in your gut, you're doing the right thing, you shouldn't be changing directions. Just because things get tough You just need to look around for the lesson and the challenge and find out what it is. I think one of the big things for me is you got to have a breakdown before a breakthrough. So a lot of times those challenges will lead to maybe even a breakdown, but don't quit. Keep going, persevere. I think one of the crucial things is to declutter your mind, but it's also, you got to declutter your environment, align your boundaries, and gratitude is a magnet, but you got to ask for signs. So just to wrap it up, I just wanted to give you a quick little anecdotal way to say, hey, keep your eyes open. Life is amazing. Life is wonderful, but you got to look for the signs. Keep going. When you think you can't, keep going, because you're going to have a growth mindset for the rest of your life if you do. Life is always offering you more, but only if you want to receive it. You got to trust the process, elevate your energy, and stay receptive to more things, to miracles coming your way. I encourage you to keep growing and glowing up and receiving as much as you can. But long term, I hope that you will grow into the person you've always wanted to be. This is Diva Mia. Have a wonderful day and keep growing up and glowing up.
Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment. We'd love hearing from you. Visit thedivadetails.com to connect. See you next week for more.
Diva Details podcast and website are intended solely for informational and entertainment purposes. The content provided does not constitute professional, medical, financial, or legal advice. We are not licensed medical practitioners, financial advisors, or legal professionals. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Any financial topics discussed are based on personal opinions and experience and should not be considered professional advice. The content provided does not constitute legal advice. The Diva Details and its affiliate contributors and guests are not liable for any losses or damages arising from the use of our content. The opinions expressed in the podcast are solely those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of any affiliated organization, sponsors, or partner. All facts discussed in the podcast are researched and accurate to the best of our knowledge at the time of recording. Information may change over time. No guarantees are made regarding the accuracy, completeness, or reliability of any statements or opinions presented. It is the responsibility of the listener to verify any and all facts that may influence their decision. This podcast is for information and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered professional advice.